Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download at www.audibletrial.com/comedy podcast network. Over 100,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player.
Everybody, and welcome to the Sports
Podcast. I'm Joel Anderson.
This is Jordan Pomaville.
And that is Phil Ranta.
I'm the sports outsider. See, when you do the this,
outsider.
and that thing,
I like
you
it.
always screw up the exposition. I'm the sports outsider. I don't know anything about sports. This is a sports podcast. You guys should talk about sports.
Yeah, I just got to say, guys, I listened to last week's podcast.
Yeah, you weren't there.
I was absent. I was in the San Francisco airport while we were recording.
You were around the San Francisco airport, yeah.
Yeah, my flight was canceled,
Yep.
and it was also later than I thought it was anyway, so I just plain didn't make it.
Yep.
You guys called me fat.
Yep.
A lot.
That's why I said you were around the San Francisco airport.
I heard when you sat around the San Francisco airport, you sat around the San
Francisco airport.
Okay, guys, here's what bothers me.
Probably the Oakland one, too, because
Yeah.
you're so fat you go to the other
all right.
airport.
Yeah.
Here's my issue. Now, first of all, you can call me fat all
Those
you
the
like.
cities
We
are
will.
separated
We
by
will.
about like
Forever.
10
I'm
miles.
certainly overweight.
Like
and
10
I'm-
miles of
yeah.
fat.
Yep. When
But
you were in
here's
the
the
San Francisco area, were you mistaken for the seals at the bay?
Wow. No, that's
When you were in the San Francisco airport, did you like turn around and was like, oh, Napa, I think I'll wine taste a little. Oh, I'll eat grapes off vine. Oh.
that would be healthy more than anything else.
Yeah, when you were in San Francisco,
all right.
were you like, I'm going to eat San Francisco? Nom, 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 nom.
Eat
This
an
town
entire
is
city.
small compared to how big I am.
The reason I'm taking issue here is because our viewers at home can't see me.
Right, that's why this is so fun
yes,
for
I
us.
want to
It's
inform
great.
our viewers at home. I am not that fat. I feel like I'm in the range where you could legitimately refer to me as like portly.
Joel, this is an improv show, right?
No.
We
everything
do a lot
is
of improv
meticulously
in this
prepared.
show.
Yeah,
We do a
well,
lot of
it's
improv
like
in the
radio.
show. Yeah. Where's the yes and? I pretend I don't know anything about sports every week, even though I'm a professor of sportsology.
Yeah. I just want the viewers at home to know that because I feel like a lot of extremely fat people go, oh, I'm portly, and they're full of crap.
Right.
I think I'm legitimately in the realm of people. You go, oh,
Well,
he's
you're
not
just
portly.
a port.
We talked this
You're
out.
a place where ships dock.
Well, you're
You're so large. You're not portly. You're port-like.
right.
That's pretty good.
Yep.
That was solid.
Yeah, that's what
You're
I
a
do.
foodie. You're a foodie.
Tell you
You
what.
are. You're a foodie.
Can we? Yeah, right. Can we post a picture of me on the website?
Hello,
Yeah, I think we
ladies.
should. All right.
Yeah.
Gotta be
Just-
shirts off. Shirts
Just
off.
how? Yeah, shirts off is fine. I
There
just
we
think,
go.
But if you have your shirts off, you have to be frowning like in the before pictures.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's fine. I guess again,
Just
not
before we
saying
got
I'm
an
not
ab roller.
fat. I'm just saying I'm not that fat.
Right. And that's your sports news for the week, everybody.
Yeah.
The green of the grass, the softness of a well-worn glove, the smile of a child
Wait,
eating
where's this
popcorn
going?
at the ball game. This is Only Baseball.
What? We're still doing this?
Yes.
Presented by Sox.
We're still doing this segment?
Yes, please hit the Sox drop. I said, this is Only Baseball, presented by Sox.
Brought to you by Sox.
I love this, by the way. I listened to last week's episode, and while I was infuriated by the fat stuff, I think this is our best segment
No,
we've
this
ever
is
had.
so boring. The last week we went over how
Last
the American
week was
League was
No,
founded.
fascinating.
that was National
That
League.
was the
The
National
National
League,
League
Phil.
was
See, you're not even
founded.
paying attention.
And
You've
it was all
learned
about
something.
different colors of garments.
Yeah, well, I mean, that they used the red stockings, the white stockings. This is and both
Volume
now
2.
American.
Can you just
okay.
read it as quickly as possible?
Volume 2, the American League.
Okay.
Oh, great, the American League. This will complete our knowledge of the origins of the league.
Jesus Christ.
1901 was the first season that the American League was considered a major league. At the time, the AL was comprised of 8
Was
teams.
Wild Thing in it? Like in the Major League movie?
Phil, could you please, Phil? I'm listening.
What?
The AL lured many stars because it did not have a maximum salary, unlike the National League. Notably, Nap Lajoie received a contract from Connie Mack and the Philadelphia Athletics for $6,000. That was $3,600 over the National League maximum.
We'll pay a nickel per game.
It's a
Hot dog.
It was $166,000 in today's money. However, the Orioles soon fell into debt, owing their star player Joe Kelly over $12,000. Unable to afford the debt, ownership sold the Orioles to Andrew Friedman,
Nobody cares.
the principal
I
owner
care.
of the NL's New York Giants, and John T. Bush, the principal owner of the NL's Cincinnati Reds. The day they assumed ownership, they released the 7 best players and divvied them up between the Giants and Reds,
Are we like studying for a
This
less
is
interesting version
signing
of
them to
Jeopardy?
new
Fascinating.
deals. The AL president, Ben Johnson, was forced to join with the minority owners to seize control of the
Wait,
team.
minority owners or minority owners? Or minority owners?
I said minority owners.
I know, minority owners or minority owners?
Do you think minority owners owned much back then?
Well, that's why I was curious. That might have been interesting to me.
Could you
Of
again,
course.
Phil?
We're
I am-
talking
I am
about
trying
levels of
to enjoy
investment in the
this.
league.
and it's
An AL
astonishing
team
stuff.
was sold to the NL to 2 guys who owned NL teams, and they basically just released the best. They bought it so they could divvy up the best assets and sign them to their own teams.
Right?
The president of the AL has to come in and join with the minority owners, seize control of the team from the NL owners, and restock the team using players on loan from other AL franchises. Of course, the Orioles had to forfeit a game that day due to not having enough players.
Oh,
See, this happened in the last one.
can you believe that, Phil? What was,
Where people weren't showing up to games, and now they're they didn't even care. They didn't even care. Why are we rehashing this? Even historically, while they were supposed to be playing, they didn't give a shit.
Jordan, what is wrong with Phil?
Can we stop this segment forever?
However, following the 1902 season, a peace agreement was reached between the 2 leagues.
Ooh, a peace
following
agreement.
the 1903 season, the winners of the AL pennant and the NL pennant played each other in the inaugural World Series.
The first ever World Series.
No, I'm not. I don't want to
This was Only Baseball, presented by Sox.
put the socks in your mouth.
All right, what do we got in the show today?
Um,
Come on. I'll tell you, we got news. We got a
Yep.
weird sport. Hey, Phil, we got a weird sport.
you're goddamn right we do.
Joel, we have Johnny Jockerson.
Johnny
from
Jockerson.
WMAD.
Yes, WMAD. That would be San Diego's #1 sports radio station.
NAD.
No, the
Yeah,
MAD.
MAD.
WMAD.
The NAD.
No,
Mad
Mad.
Dog.
Muh.
Mad.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Right.
say that to him. He apparently has a little bit of a temper.
Well,
Oh.
I think it's part of his shtick.
Yeah.
I think it's part of his shtick.
He's on to talk about the AllStar Game.
Oh, that's
Ooh.
great.
Being, we should mention this is the 1 week a year where there's like no sports.
Right.
Nice.
So it's
If we had
so we're
remembered to ask
talking
you,
only
Phil, yeah.
baseball.
The bad boy of podcasting meets the bad boy of radio.
Right?
Pretty much.
Yeah, finally.
And we have someone on from the Tour de France, right, Phil? That I'm really excited to meet.
Yes.
Talk some cycling, maybe.
Yeah, that's gonna be great. It'll be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get things started with news.
Let's
Yep.
go.
News on the Sports Podcast with Jordan, Joel, and Phil.
News. Great to have you back, typewriter
There's a
Joel.
man that was
Yeah.
a crisp
I was
typewriter.
gonna say,
in the
Jordan
background.
could not do it.
Ooh.
Here's
Not-
the thing, guys. I always thought it was like a ticker machine, not a typewriter.
Oh.
Either
I thought
way,
it was- yeah,
either way, I couldn't do it.
It's hard to do. You need to have a talented tongue. The talented tongue of Joel Anderson.
That's what all the ladies are talking about.
12-year-old Buckeye fan names cancer Michigan and beats it. In a heart-
What?
Well, I'll
Oh, sorry,
explain.
go on.
You can. What? I guess I'll read the news story.
Okay, read the news story.
Do you open the newspaper and read a headline and be like, Zimmerman not guilty? What?
Yes, all the time. That's exactly how I read a newspaper.
Phil doesn't read things that are small.
Oh, okay. In a heartwarming story, a young Ohio State fan named Grant Reed was diagnosed 14 months ago with cancer.
That is heartwarming.
Whoa. And he's just completed his final chemo session.
Oh.
Now, he named his cancer Michigan.
Yeah.
He's a big Ohio State fan. However, even though he reached his final chemo session, he may not be in the clear yet, as his cancer's remission is going to be watched closely by oncologist Dr. John Cooper. Thanks, Joel. He was
John Cooper was the coach of the Buckeyes for a long time, and he couldn't beat Michigan.
Very
was
good.
a very he gave
Very
very good.
good.
Okay.
Very good coach other than
Very
that, but he
good.
went like 2-10 against Michigan, and he got fired because of it.
Even as an alumnus, the fact that he named his cancer Michigan and seems to have beat it is a truly positive story. And it's much better than the hundreds of Buckeye fans each year that use the standard, my wife's nickname is Michigan defense, when they're charged with domestic assault and battery.
I got that one.
Likewise, it is better than the thousands of Buckeye fans in middle school that have jokingly named their penis Michigan. Well, actually not. That's still best.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, Giants pitcher charged with open and gross lewdness. Subheadline, Giants team charged with open and gross play.
Oh, they must not be very good at the sport they play.
Meow myself.
Yeah.
They're not having a good year.
Oh.
By now, we're jaded in the sports community, very much used to players fondling and harassing women.
Oh,
But-
yeah, like
bless their heart.
waitresses.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
only reason we can have this podcast
Happens
is because
all
stuff like that
the
happens.
time.
Right.
They're total sleazebags. We're all
Total.
used to athletes being sleazebags.
Yeah. Well, so Giants starting reliever Chad Gaudin has brought sexual
think it's
harassment Gaudin to a new low. According to police
How's that
reports,
possible?
he appeared drunk when he approached a 23-year-old woman on a gurney in the emergency room lobby at the
Whoa.
Desert Springs hospital. Told her
that's
she was
disgusting.
gorgeous. Well, that's nice.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
that
Well,
was
that's
nice.
Then
sweet.
touched her face and breast.
Ah!
Oh.
But I feel like we've all done this when we're on the gurney coming off the anesthetic.
Yeah.
Paramedic who witnessed the incident told Gaudin to leave the woman alone, but he refused, and security staff held him down until the police arrived.
What? He was that adamant about touching her face and breasts?
Here-
No! I want another touch! I want another touch! Ah!
Here's
On a gurney.
So here's what the officer wrote. I asked Gaudin several times how he ended up at the hospital, and each time he told me that he didn't know, the officer wrote in the report.
Oh, no.
He appeared to be intoxicated. He had slurred speech, bloodshot eyes, trouble standing still, obeying commands, an odor of alcoholic beverages, and couldn't repeat his house number, where he lives, the same time twice in a row.
Oh, dear.
Many wild times in Vegas, when you get so drunk, you don't know how you even got to the hospital.
That's a fact.
But don't worry, because his lawyer has an airtight explanation.
Oh.
He issued a statement saying his client was ill at the time of the alleged incident.
Sure.
Denies any wrongdoing. He said he was examined in the emergency room of a local hospital while experiencing symptoms believed to have been related to
Heat stroke.
acute renal failure
Oh.
due to a condition called rhamnodomylosis.
Ramadanalosis?
I'm-
Whoa, what's that?
Sounds
Well,
made up.
Its symptoms include confusion, dehydration, loss of orientation, and or consciousness.
Wait,
And
so it's
groping
just
people
another
on
word
gurneys.
for...
I can't. I don't.
Well,
I'm
renal is
pronouncing it
kidney,
wrong.
right? So it's
Rehabilidomyosis.
I don't know. Do we have some sort of Schoolhouse Rock song that can explain what this is?
Yeah.
Well, if only Ben Roethlisberger had rhamnodomyosis, and it'd be good for him instead of being
Yeah.
a piece of shit rapist.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yep.
Well, he is.
Could be a racist, too. I mean,
He's a
it's
piece of
entirely
shit,
possible.
raping racist.
Yeah. Does he only rape white women?
Yeah.
Because then we'd know if he's
Yeah,
a
he's
racist.
Common causes.
To this point, yeah, those are the
Yeah.
only.
There you go.
Common causes for this disease include alcohol or drug use, muscle strain, or crush injuries.
So every time I'm drunk, I can just be like, I'm not drunk. I got rhamnodomyosis.
Right.
If you can say it, you're not drunk.
Right.
That's probably right. Aaron Hernandez has been model inmate. Should have focused energy on being model citizen.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Is
true.
Aaron Hernandez officially not the shittiest person in sports because of Chad Gaudin?
No, he's still no.
I guess I know
Aaron
he
Hernandez
didn't kill
killed,
someone,
Yeah.
but he groped a woman on a gurney.
Did
She can't go anywhere.
And Aaron
She's in a
Hernandez. We've had
hospital.
lots of the Twitterverse saying that they wanted Aaron Hernandez back on the show.
Really?
Yeah, people really liked it when Aaron Hernandez was on
Well,
the show.
maybe we'll
We're
maybe
probably
we'll be
the
able
only
to get him
people who got a real interview with
Yeah.
him.
back. Yeah.
Let's have him back.
Yeah.
Urban Meyer trained killer Aaron Hernandez has been nothing but perfect, according to the Bristol County Sheriff, Thomas Hodgson. He's kept to himself, though it is a forced introversion as he's being held away from the general prison population.
Smart.
Hernandez hasn't complained and has eaten all of his meals, which sounds like a report you would get from a babysitter. He made one request for more protein in his diet, which was denied.
What? You
Yeah.
can't deny someone if they just want to eat a little healthier, huh?
If you're
Give him another
you're
chicken
in
breast.
prison, it's like, hey, I want more
He's-
protein. They say, hey, guess what? You're in prison.
That's
He
not
probably
nice.
wants a lot more protein. He's probably worried about maintaining his muscle mass.
Well, he's been doing sit-ups, knee bends, and push-ups all day in the cell.
Yeah, just like the Sarah Connor at the beginning of Terminator 2.
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
Sarah. Here's an average day for model inmate Aaron Hernandez. Up at 6 a.m. for breakfast.
Good.
An egg, a portion of grits, a muffin square, and a glass of milk or Tang. And
He probably goes for milk if he wants the protein.
Well, here's the best factoid of the piece. Hodgson told the Boston Globe, we actually serve Tang now to cut cost. But believe it or not, it actually has higher nutritional value than orange juice. And it's cheaper.
Really?
Apparently. He's allowed 2 books to read at a time, and he can write letters during the day. Hodgson said that Hernandez likes to read, and that he sent down a copy of Tuesdays with Maury because being in a cell all day makes Hernandez miss schmaltzy, mediocre sports writers. He gets out of his cell only 3 times a day, where he can make collect calls at this time, and it's hilarious to refuse them. But he's also only allowed to go outside once each day.
Whoa.
Would you know what to do if you got a collect call in this day and age?
You have a collect call from... Oh, you can't. You got to be fucking kidding me.
There's no way.
I would
There's no
start
way.
arguing with the robot voice. Like, no. Who's calling me collect?
Bullshit.
Who found
Honestly-
a payphone to call me collect?
Yeah. Honestly, though, if you found out you were getting a collect call, of all your friends, guys, who do you think it would be most likely to be coming from?
Of all of my friends,
Yeah.
if I got a collect call, I would say that it's Bro Squad 5 co-worker Steve Sears.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I would go with you, Joel, just because I know your phone battery dies a lot.
Yeah, I kind of.
It's no other comment except
No.
that I know I've been in several
Yeah.
situations with you where your phone battery
I've
died.
actually hung on to that list I compiled the last time it happened of numbers.
You'd be too proud to ask for help. I don't believe that you would call anybody collect because you'd be like, I'll find my way back.
I wouldn't. Well, there might still be reasons to call you collect.
Name 5.
To make
I'm
fun
s-
of you.
I'm
You
sitting.
would never call collect.
I'm sitting around the San Francisco airport and I ate everything nearby.
What is that? An entire town of people? Blah, 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 blah.
All right, Phil.
Yeah.
Joining us now in the studio is Johnny Jockerson, co-host of K. I said W, but KMAD's morning sports program.
KMAD KKKMMMAAD K-Man.
Hey, the echo thing's kind of mine. I know you don't know this because you're just jumping on the show, but the echo thing's kind of mine.
You think you can just claim the echo thing?
Oh,
this
you're
is
the-
exactly the sort of absurd behavior that we can expect here in liberal America.
I like a challenge. Bad boy of radio meets bad boy of podcasting. Bring it on.
Podcasting is just a fad.
What? No, the computer's going to be around for a while. Radio's going away. Radio's
Bull
I don't know.
crap.
As long as we have cars, we'll have a radio, right?
No, we're going to have it'll all be computers. It'll be computers that'll be feeding out audio.
Oh,
in a
I
day.
know. I'll
I
just
will
jump in
say
my
this,
internet
guys.
car and drive it to fake internet work.
That's what most cars are already. What is this, gang up on Phil time? We're talking to this jock asshole.
Whoa!
What?
Come on, this is
In
our guest.
fairness-
Be nice to our
Okay, I'm
guest.
sorry.
In fairness, Jock Asshole was my nickname in elementary school.
Well, what's your nickname now on the radio?
Jock Asshole.
There we go.
The jaundiced jackalope.
All right.
Right on.
So we brought you on because there's not a lot going on in the sports world now, except for the AllStar Game.
Yeah, which I gotta tell you, I am really upset about.
Why are you upset about the AllStar? It's a great
Let me tell
celebration
you
of the
something.
game.
The All-Star Game is an abomination. It's an affront to our American values. It's a game that they play, but they don't try particularly hard to win. Okay? It might as well be Adolf Hitler shitting on an American flag. That's how awful the All-Star Game is.
Well, because
I'm
of
starting to
his
like
general
him. I kind of
bowel
agree.
irregularity, it would be very hard for Hitler to do that, and so he would be trying harder, I guess. But that's a bowel thing. He had like IBS or some shit.
No, but you're missing the point here. It's that the All-Star Game
I'm sorry
is
if I
for
missed the point to
jerks
focus
and
on Hitler shitting on the
losers
fact.
and assholes, okay? We should be talking right now about the game we saw last night where everybody gave their all.
Yeah,
'Cause
they
you know
did,
what?
yeah.
It's baseball, and that's what people do in baseball because it's American.
Look, the
Well, they
All-Star
did-
Game is fun because people like celebrities. It's the same reason why we
No.
watch red carpets.
No, it's a sport. It should be played as a sport.
Well,
it
they-
ended in a tie once. Do you have any idea how awful that is? Bud Selig is a terrible commissioner. For him to allow the All-Star
We've had him
Game-
on this podcast a few
For
times.
him to allow the All-Star Game to continue having this level of irrelevance is totally ridiculous. It's almost as ridiculous as letting Adolf Hitler shit on the American flag.
Okay.
Okay, let's back up. Did you have any suggestions to fix it? I mean, they already play for the World Series, home field advantage. That makes them play hard.
I'm glad you asked that. I have several suggestions for how to fix the All-Star Game.
All right, Johnny
right.
Jockerson.
First suggestion, the losing team, including the coaches, all get docked 1 game's pay.
Okay, well, I mean, that's a little...
I wouldn't. I
wouldn't-
Rule number 1 of business: don't fuck with people's money.
Second suggestion,
they make
the
a lot of
losing
money
team
anyway.
is forced to perform calisthenics for 2 hours after the game. in front of the fans in order to be effectively shamed for losing.
Who says calisthenics? What is it being run by like a
Calisthenics is the appropriate way to refer to
He's
it.
got those little megaphone thingy made out of a plastic cone, being like, "All right, time for do jumping jacks." With calisthenics time.
I feel like calisthenics is also the thing when like you just like turn at your hip a lot, like
right,
that.
you're
like,
wearing a unitard.
Okay, you two, clearly both communists.
Okay.
Third suggestion.
All right.
We kidnap the families and or pets of all of the players taking part in the game and threaten to kill them if they don't win.
No,
it's not for real. We're just doing it to scare them.
Then they just wouldn't
Then we're
participate.
no better than
They'd
South
be like,
America.
why would we do that?
No, they will play hard because
No,
they
they
think
wouldn't
that their
play at all. They
families
would
are
show
going to
up.
die.
they would probably contact the authorities. Would be the first thing you'd call.
Yeah.
You'd call the FBI. if
You'd
you're-
go, I've got a particular set of skills. Then you'd get your family back.
The FBI will be the ones who are doing this.
Oh, no.
Assuming we don't disband them because they're a sign of our government run rampant.
Look, this is what I hate
Fourth
about... Okay.
suggestion. All members of the losing team will enter into the Thunderdome, a giant metal encased item where they will fight constantly.
With chainsaws?
It will be a ladder
Oh,
match
I'm on
with
board.
a single
Two men enter, one man leaves.
This
Except
sounds
in this case, it'll be
Thunderdome.
30 men
Thunderdome.
entering, one man leaving.
This sounds like Royal Rumble or Money in the Bank combined. I don't like it. No, absolutely not.
I like this. Let's do just that one.
No,
Enough of
it's
the kidnapping.
baseball. They should be playing Johnny Jockerson. That seems like a harsh turn.
Well-
That seems like not the game at all.
You know what just happened?
What?
You guys have been jackaloped. WMAD. WWMMMA.
Weird Smiles.
DDDD. WMAD.
Joining us now in the studio is Pierre LaFrance. It cannot be his real name.
Hello, that is my real name.
All right. and
C'est Pierre Lefrance.
I am super excited
Yes.
about this. I think it's come up in the podcast before, but it's a little odd, I know, but I'm a big fan of the Tour de France.
What do they call that?
You
You're
heard of
you're like
the
a cycle
Tour de
head.
France?
Big cycle head.
Yeah, love the cycling.
Oh, you're talking about the
Chris
cycle
Froome
race.
currently leading, great up the Mont Ventoux on Bastille Day, won the time trial again today.
I do not watch the Tour de France.
Wait, what is your involvement?
I do
we had
not-
you on to talk to
Yeah, why do we have?
No, I'm the president of Tour de France.
Yeah, you're the president.
famous
You probably
bicycle-
tell us all
No,
about
no,
Chris
no,
Froome.
no.
Alberto Contador's making a run at it this year.
In the year of our Lord, 1870, my great-great-great-great-grandfather started the Tour de France tourism company #1 in France.
Oh, so it's
we
just
take
it's like an
people-
actual. It's just a tour of France.
We take people around France. They get to see the sights until the stupid Baccarat come and take it away.
Well, I think it's great that your company, obviously,
Yeah.
I know France supports small business owners and a family business. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
But we wanted to talk sports.
I mean, obviously,
dude, everybody come to me. They want to talk about the Tour de France.
Yeah.
About Lance Armstrong. Live strong. My heart is 4 times larger than regular person.
it's but I mean, you have to admit that it's the biggest bike race in the world. It's a huge deal. I mean, I understand it might be trouble for your company, but I mean,
It might be trouble for my company.
why did you
It
just?
might be trouble. It
Yeah.
might be trouble having same name as the Tour de France.
Yeah.
It is trouble.
Was your great grandfather half Russian, or I feel like you have a Russian French accent
I
going
do
on.
not understand what you're talking about.
Uh,
It is. Look, my family, they know everything about France. They know everything, huh? We know everything all the way from Paris,
Right?
all the
City of
way to
Lights.
Cannes,
Okay.
and everything in between.
Well, what else? What are some other cities that you take that your tour goes to?
Yeah.
We go all the way to the
you
north.
know everything.
We go to all the way to the northeast. Down to the south of France.
The Sud
where-
de France.
The Sud de France. Where
You already mentioned
everybody-
Cannes. Cannes
The
is in
Champs-Élysées.
That's in
in
Paris.
Yes.
Did you hit that twice?
Eiffel Tower.
All right.
Also-
that's
also
the
in
tour
Paris.
Eiffel,
Yes. We look all over the
Do you take? So here's what my question for you, because obviously, if I sign up for the Tour de France, your tour, I want to see all of France.
Oh, you will see all of France.
But I especially, if I go with a company named Tour de France, I especially would like to see some of the staging areas of the Tour de France, the bicycle race.
I've actually wanted to take a Tour of France that would be just following the tour.
Why would you want to see
this?
the staging area of the Tour de
I wanna
France
see,
when
like,
you can
the
see the
lanes.
staging area of the Tour de France office?
Why would I want to go to an
Why would I-
office?
Why?
Inside of there, we have the copy machine. We've got the internet where we go on Priceline.com and get a negotiated hotel price.
You're using Priceline? This kind of sounds like a crappy tour company.
No, the internet has changed the tourism industry.
Yeah. Well, why don't I ask you this? Why
Okay.
didn't you just change the name of your company? I mean, some point in the 20s, it should have been pretty clear that the bike race was always going
Oh,
to be a
you
bigger
want
deal.
us to just
Can I give it-
surrender?
How about a pitch?
You want us to surrender to the Tour de France?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, it
How
might be
about
weird
If there
to
is one thing that can be said about the French people, we do not surrender.
That's not
We
at all true.
never surrender.
Well, I mean, what would be weird about this would be you surrendering to the Tour de France because French people, I mean, nobody surrenders to the French.
I guess it'd be like, it's basically like if, Verjao and Juanul Ginobili ran into each other, they'd flop at the same time.
Right, exactly.
Yes.
It was a simultaneous flop. The world ends.
I'm
So-
starting to think that you do not bring me here to buy a Tour de
No,
France.
we have
No,
no
we had
no
no
interest
intention. We brought you
whatsoever.
You want to see the little tight pants man on
I mean,
the
I'm
the
looking at-
I wanted to
bicycles.
go to more than 2 cities. You named 2 cities we could go to on your
Yeah.
tour, and a lot of other.
All the rest of it is filler.
What? What about
The
Nice?
rest of the rest
What about
of
Dijon?
France
What about Lyon? What about Champagne?
is- No,
Brittany.
clearly you have never been to these
Burgundy.
places. These places, they're how you say, piles of
Alsace-Lorraine.
They're big merde piles.
Okay.
They smell of shit.
Right, Maynard. We
Yes, and
There's a pile of
there
it.
is-
It would be
there
weird
is
if-
nothing to see there.
Okay. Can I go ahead and say here, and Pierre, with all due respect, we got from Jean who books our
Oh, are you talking about Gene?
Yeah. Gene.
Yes,
He's
he
French-Canadian.
books everything, and all we have in the
he has
action.
booked many tours de France through me.
Okay, yeah, that's all we have here in the action sheet about you is here to talk about the Tour de France. We assumed that was cycling. We wanted to talk about cycling. And not only have you not talked at all about cycling, which it seems odd that you would live in France and have no understanding of the race whatsoever, you also appear to run a horrendous tour company. I mean, that's very specifically French of you. Your business is awful. Sounds like you just leech off of stupid tourists who don't know any better.
How dare you judge my tourism company?
I dare. You can't name any cities in France other than Paris.
If there
and
is
Cannes.
one thing that can be said about the French people, we are always up for a fight.
That's not true.
I am
at
going
all.
to take you outside and make a jambon out of your face.
All right.
All right, you know what? I'm going to
Let's
take
do-
you up in that fight. Let's
do
go
it. Let's see
outside.
both of you
We are
go
going
outside.
to bare knuckle box, and maybe you'll try to escape on your little bicycle.
Okay. All right. I'm opening the door. Let's. Oh, and he took off. He's still running.
He's
For you, the listeners of Sports Podcast, Audible is offering a free audiobook download with a free 30-day trial to give you the opportunity to check out their service. I personally recommend a wonderful book called The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. Joel saw the movie. He said that it was okay. To download your free audiobook today, go to audibletrial.com/comedy podcast network. Again, that's audibletrial.com/comedy podcast network for your free audiobook. And now it's time for another Weird Sports! Weird Sports.
Phil's redemption.
Yes.
Yeah. It's interesting. I feel like it's good that we're winding down to our last Weird Sports because every time you do that intro, the vein on your temple bulges just a little bit bigger.
Yes.
It's starting to look like, when Howie Mandel would inflate rubber gloves over his head.
Yeah.
It's getting to that point.
I call that vein on my temple Temple Grandin. That's my name for it. This week's Weird Sport, Skijoring.
That's
Skijoring.
I'm guessing it's Scandinavian.
Is it Icelandic?
Skijoring. Skijoring. Skijoring.
Yeah. Iceland technically part of Scandinavia? Like, not geographically, but culturally it definitely is.
Guys, are we going to talk about geography all day? Or are we going to get to sports?
All right, yeah. Suck it to us.
What is so weird about this sport, Phil?
Skijoring is a winter sport where a person on skis is pulled by a horse, a dog, or a motor vehicle.
It's wonderful.
It is.
Is it entering the race? You have your choice of one of the three? Because
Yeah,
I would
take
probably
the
pick a motor vehicle.
That'd probably be the best bet.
I might take a snowmobile, yeah. Right.
Yeah, that'd probably be smartest. It's derived from the Norwegian word skikjarring, meaning ski driving.
This is a very straightforward sport.
Yes, but it's got a funny name. Skijoring with a dog is a sport in which a dog or dogs assist a cross-country skier. 1 to 3 dogs are commonly used. The cross-country skier provides the power with skis and poles, and the dog adds additional power by running and pulling.
I really assumed that this was just sort of like water skiing.
I think at a dog level, you got to supply some power. But when you're talking horse, it's water
it's probably
skiing.
just like water skiing with a horse.
Well, let's see about that because there's competitions called Skijor races. And the Skijor races are held in many countries where there is snow in winter. No snow in winter, no Skijoring.
Well, what
So, like,
if
what
you
about-
did it in the water like water skiing?
Then it
just
wouldn't
have
be
a horse run across the
Skijoring
water and-
anymore.
okay,
A horse
right.
running across the water. Are these Jesus horses, Joel? Horses, if they tried to run across water, would just fall in.
Oh yeah.
Oregon Trail, Joel.
Yeah.
Ford the river, oxen die.
Yeah. Most races are between 5 kilometers and 20 kilometers in length. The longest race is the Kalevala, held in Kalevala, Karelia, Russia, with a distance of 440 kilometers or 270 miles.
Jesus. Is that with the horses, the dogs, or the?
That's the dogs.
Oh wow.
Oh.
Next is the River Runner 120, held in Whitehorse,
Daytona
Yukon.
Beach.
Yeah, that's a Canadian one, Whitehorse, Yukon, with a distance of 120 miles or 190 kilometers. In the United States and Canada, Skijoring races are often held in conjunction with sled dog races. A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
So it's a little synergistic there.
Yeah, they found 2 brands that matched well together. They decided to unite those, merge those brands, and sell some more tickets.
Right. There's sled pulled by dogs,
Yeah.
skis pulled by dogs.
Yes, indeed. In Scandinavia, Skijor races are tightly associated with the older Scandinavian sport of pulka. Skijoring races are not normally limited to purebred northern breed dogs such as Siberian Huskies. On the contrary, the top racing teams in the world are German shorthand pointers or
What?
pointer greyhound mixes, Alaskan Huskies, or crosses between these breeds.
Aren't those smaller dogs? I guess
Yeah,
if
but
you're
you're just
also
a-
skiing, you want them to be fast more than anything.
Yeah, you don't have to pull a
You
sled.
want a fast dog.
Right, you want one with good acceleration. Like if you're picking a Mario Kart thing, right? You'd want like the little cart. You wouldn't want the
Toad.
Bowser cart. Yeah.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want Bowser or DK. No way. Acceleration would be too slow. Good. The IFSS World Championships in Skijoring, they switch around to different places. The most recent one they have listed is the 2011 one, which was in Hamar and Holmenkollen, Norway.
Was that a colon in the thing, or is that you
Is that
pronouncing
you
it?
trying
No,
to
it's
pronounce-
Holmenkollen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
How many kilometers is that from Oslo?
a lot. Equestrian skijoring. Equestrian skijoring consists of a team of a single horse. Not really a team then, is it? Article. Generally guided by a rider, which is pulling the person on skis who carries no poles and simply hangs onto a tow rope in a manner akin to water skiing. So,
Hey, ding, 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 ding.
but the
Weird
horse has a
sports
rider.
bingo.
The horse has a rider. So
Oh.
there's 2 people. Somebody's riding the horse. Somebody's skijoring.
Let me
Like
tell
someone
you-
driving
yeah.
a boat in the water skis. The boat doesn't drive itself.
Let me
Right.
tell you how you improve this sport. First, you lose the rider. Second, you lose the skis. Third, the starting gun is fired right next to the ear of the horse. That I would watch.
4th, part of the X Games.
Yeah.
5th, the guy's head gets bucked off by the horse,
No.
and you're dead
No,
before
he's
it
not
starts.
on the horse. He's getting dragged behind
No,
the
I know,
horse.
but if you shoot the gun right next to the horse's ear, what's it gonna do? It's gonna
Here's
kick.
the
it's
start
gonna
of one
kick
of
The
those
back
guy's going to
his
snap
face
his
off.
neck, and it's
Yeah.
basically going to be a really sad, slow death.
Right. You're just gonna watch a bunch of dead horses
No,
flopping in
you're
the
not going
starting
to
line.
tie the rope around his neck. It'd be around his waist. He
Whoever's
just
horse is still alive enough to move wins the race.
You're not going to shoot the horse.
No, if you shoot it right next to the horse's ear, the neck will snap because it'll jump right.
No, it's the
No.
guy's neck. The horse will take off.
They're all gonna die.
You want to know how that race sounds when it starts?
How?
Oh!
All right.
All right. Very good
Okay.
impression. Skijoring behind a horse is said to have originated as a method of winter travel, but today is primarily a competitive sport. Skijoring was a demonstration sport in the 1928 Winter Olympics.
Oh, does that mean there's footage of it? I would really like to see that.
In 1928, it would have had to been like a Lenny Riefenstahl film.
Yeah, still.
Zing.
Yeah. Take that, 1920s. In North America, the North American Skijoring Association, a space in ski and joring, Americans, holds competitions in which a rider guides the horse while a skier navigates a series of jumps and obstacles.
Ooh.
More informal competitions are held on flat ground over short courses, often as simple sprint races on a straightaway, sometimes with turns. Two people were yawning at once, and it was not me. Two
I
people
don't know
were
what you're
yawning
talking
at
about.
once. It was not me.
I
It
don't know
started with Jordan. Joel saw it and went, "Oh, that's a good idea." Right after I eat this entire ham, nom 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 nom. Yawn. This ham made me sleepy because I ate it all at once. Assholes. But anyways,
When one person in the room yawns, the other people do. That's like
I
it's a
didn't
known
because
thing.
I was engrossed in skijoring.
We haven't even gotten a motor vehicle.
Motorized skijoring
There we
can
go.
take place behind a snowmobile or other small motorized vehicle. The vehicle and driver pull a skier in a manner more akin to the equestrian style or water skiing, which is the same way they last.
Oh, do they have a driver in the car?
Yes, they have a
It'd be
driver.
way
in the
cooler if there
snowmobile.
was no driver.
If you
And they
just had
just-
to whip it.
yeah, no.
They shot a gun next to the steering
Okay,
wheel.
so you'd fire the starting pistol, and you'd see the drivers like start the car and then roll out.
Right. Another variant can tow skiers behind an all-terrain carrier, such as a Bandwagen 206. I don't know what that is.
Bondwagen 206.
Do you want speed on the snow? Get a Bondwagen 206. It's faster than the 205.
No, it's if you have to transport your band between snowy places, you use a bandwagon.
Plus, in this case, several skiers or soldiers can be towed on the same rope. I don't know why they threw
Why
in
did they
soldiers
specify
in there.
soldiers? Of course, they could be soldiers.
That's really weird that they said or soldiers. I don't see any other reference to soldiers in this
I
article.
wonder if like the Finnish army used to use them. That like
Ah,
when they had
that
to
makes sense.
transport troops, they're like, let's just hook them up.
Well,
to the
who
old
were they
Bandwagen.
fighting?
Yeah.
Vikings?
The Soviets
Were they?
in like 1939, 1940. Yeah.
Did the Soviets make it all the way over there?
The
It
the Soviet
borders
Union
it.
bordered Finland.
What?
Oh my god.
That comes to an end. Another Weird Sports.
Citizens of Podcast Town, this brings to the close another sports
Sports.
podcast. Before we go, Phil will give you our contact information.
You can email us at sportspodcast@gmail.com. That's sportspodcast@gmail.com. You can tweet at us at sports3podcast. That's at sports3podcast. You can find us on Facebook by searching sports podcast in your little top bar thingy. You can find us on YouTube. Go to youtube.com/comedypodnet to see all of our podcasts, as well as me playing Tecmo Super Bowl with the Detroit Lions 1991 style. This week we have special guest, star of Sideways, Paul Giamatti joins me. It's very, very good, so make sure to check it out. You can also find us on Stitcher Radio. Download the Stitcher app today at Stitcher.com. Search Sports Podcast. You can find us on iTunes by searching Sports 3 Space Podcast. That's Sports 3 Space Podcast. And you can download, leave us a comment. It's really appreciated. Or find all of our back episodes at ComedyPodcastNetwork.com.
Do we get the Twitter out there?
Yeah.
We're tweeting more.
Yeah, sports number 3 podcast.
Follow us on Twitter. There's more. The Twitter action's heating up.
Yeah, the heat is on. It's on the streets. We got
I gotta say,
we got a lot of followers now.
Phil, you did not do a great job of reading the credits there at the end.
You don't think that was good?
I feel like you sort of did it. You were off. On
I felt a little off.
You felt like you were a little off.
You try playing a video game with Paul Giamatti and see how on you are.
Yeah, that would have been something.
Yeah.
Lights off.
You have received this transmission from the Comedy Podcast Network. For more shows, visit comedypodcastnetwork.com.